Yo, little bit of a different view. I'm gonna put you right there. I have my tripod, but I'm just not in a good place to put it outside, just because I'm right next to the drive-through speaker. So anyone that comes and orders, they're just gonna see me just talking to my camera. So I'm just gonna keep you right here for the raw talk today, because I want to keep up my consistency. I don't want to give any more excuses. And that's kind of the reason why I've been recording these raw talks. If you've seen the last one, it was about a week ago, almost a week and a half ago. And it was just me simply just putting the camera down and just letting you know what my thoughts are and what the topic was as I record it. So right now we just clocked out of work. As you can see, I'm a cashier at Burger King. If you don't know, some people are new to the channel. So my name is Carlos. I work as a Burger King employee, and I simply just post about self-improvement content, fitness content. And there comes the car right now, and they're coming back. That's the same car that I just served right now. I don't know what we did wrong. They ordered an Impossible Whopper. I swear that's the same car. But anyways, I kind of want to listen. Oh, okay, yeah, they just want cheese on it. Okay. Yeah, the Impossible Whopper does not come with cheese. So, and it's just extra. So they were just asking for more, for cheese on it. Because that was the same car I just ordered right now before I clocked out. Anyways, that's a long intro. But my name's Carlos. I post fitness content mainly on Instagram and TikTok. Right now, TikTok has been bugging for some reason. I've been getting lower than 100 views per video, which is so weird. But Instagram has been doing well, so I'm just posting mainly there. So I just post about fitness and just basically some mindset stuff that's helped me get out of my rut when I was, just heartbroken, when I was going through ACL recovery, when I was going through, multiple family deaths, just a lot of different things that I was going through when I was, 2 years ago, even 2 to 3 years ago. And, for today, I just want to post a video because I simply just want to be consistent. I simply just want to be consistent. I don't care what the topic is now. I don't care about overthinking. I've been working here for quite a while, and I've noticed that, nothing has really changed. My physical environment hasn't really changed. I've been getting a lot of more wisdom. I've been, praying to God more often now for the past month. And for this past month, it's just been about just being consistent no matter what fucking excuse I give myself. I would usually say to myself, I'm gonna post this YouTube video if I'm feeling energetic. And then when I clock out of work, I don't feel energetic. And it's like, oh, let me just do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I don't feel energetic again. And it's like, oh, I just want to go home and I'll do it tomorrow. Just this repeated cycle of constant excuse after excuse after excuse. And even right now, I just clocked out of work. I'm quite tired right now, and I just want to simply go home. But every single time I've noticed, every single time I just do what I feel like doing, I still just get the same result, which is inconsistent YouTube videos, inconsistent short form content, inconsistent physique results. I've been having the same physique for quite a while, but now I've been taking it more serious. I hired a coach, and I've been just like fucking trying to be as consistent as possible with my posts, with my physique, with my meals, macros, my cardio, my steps. It's a lot to balance, but there's no other way than through the fire. No other way than through the fire. And, there's people who live the same exact day after day after day after day. And I notice I don't want to be like those people. Just getting the same thing, the same results, same effort. I have to work fucking harder if I want different results. Simply just changing my inputs will affect how my outputs are, my results. If I'm not doing the inputs, I simply won't just get the results. But I would give myself so many excuses to not put the inputs in, and then I would be surprised on why I'm not getting the outputs out. I would be surprised on why I'm not changing my life as fast as I know I could be. It's simply because I ignore the things that matter the most, which have effectively compounded over time and led me to stay in the same place. Usually that's what it is. Because we simply just ignore, oh, I'll just record this YouTube video tomorrow. Boom, I just ignored something that could effectively, like blow up. Maybe a YouTube video blows up. Who knows, right? Let's say I want to, do for coaching, oh, let me just do, I'll just do my outbounds later. Let me just do this later. I could have maybe, nurtured a conversation to potentially get a client, right? Because I want to help people get in shape. But it's not that people are not just going to come running to me, right? I understand that. I used to just think, oh, if I just start posting content, people are just going to want my coaching. Hell no. Hell no, bro. I have to put much more effort than I thought I would have. It looks easy online. Don't get mistaken about all these online gurus and stuff. It is much harder than you think. If it was easy, then everyone would have done it. And if it was easy, I wouldn't want to have done it because everyone can do it. So I simply just have to, this comes from just dropping the ego, and admitting to myself, okay, I'm not putting as much effort that's required to get my desired outputs. I had to drop the ego, be like, okay, this is not just going to happen overnight. This is not just going to happen as easy as I thought. So let me just be conscious of my decision making every single time I don't want to do something. For example, again, if I, want to record a YouTube video 3 times a week, like maybe that's 2 raw talks like the one right now, no matter what, we record after work. No matter what. Because usually after work is when I've been off my phone for a while, I can think clearly, and I can simply just connect all my thoughts at once because I haven't been just brain rotting myself on my phone because I was working, right? So I had a lot of time to do thinking. And so I'm simply just, no matter how I feel, I simply cannot ignore the fact that I have to record a YouTube video no matter what. Because if I don't, I will get the same result that I've been getting for the past few months. So this is just my conscious thinking right now. Like, I'm thinking all this in a much faster speed. I'm just saying it so I can, put it into words so you guys can understand. But I'm thinking all this like rapidly through my head now, because it's like, okay, if I really want things to change, I gotta change my inputs. So just know that if you've been just getting the same exact result, a good part of the reason could be you're not putting as much inputs as you could be, or as, you're not putting as much inputs as required. There's a caveat to this, or there's a, what do you call it? It's like a nuance to this, where, you're going to have to be patient, right? Obviously, if you can't just force an outcome, like you got to actually put effort for a long period of time and be patient with it, right? But you have to make sure that those inputs are for sure guaranteed. Like, no matter what, for me, I'm posting 5 times a day on Instagram. No matter 5 times a day on Instagram for a full year, there's no way that I don't grow my follower account, right? So I've been just posting 5 times a day since yesterday. So I'm not getting ahead of myself, because I understand that this could be just a burst of confidence or motivation. So I have to be very careful with my emotions right now, right? I probably won't be motivated tomorrow, but I have to make sure that I post my 5 times a day, So what I'm saying is, I hope this is making sense to you guys, because I simply just want to express what I'm, going through right now. No matter what you feel, drop the ego and make sure that your inputs are going to, find a way that it's impossible to not get results. Have a way where so I wrote this down in my journal. How would it be impossible to not get to, let's say, 10,000 followers? Posting 5 times a day, 3 YouTube videos a week, right? Maybe, engage with other people in comment sections so they can find my page out if they want to follow too. Just like all these different things, what would make it impossible to not get my results, right? And it's gonna be scary at first, because it's like, okay, what would make it impossible? Okay, let me post 10 times a day. Fuck, I have to post 10 times a day now? It's like, it's scary at first, right? All the effort you see that you have to do, it's scary to look at. I was writing down, okay, what would be impossible? Post 5 times a day, okay. Post 3 YouTube videos a week, all right. Post 1 informational content video. Post this. And then I would look at it after I wrote all that down. I'm like, fuck, I have to do all this now. Like, and that should scare you in a little way. And that should, like, you know, pinch your feelings a little bit, because that means you're now getting out that comfort zone where now you're going to be like pushing yourself to the limit, right? You're going to be pushing yourself now, instead of being like, oh, I think it's going to, you know, I think I just got to do this amount of work and then everything's going to happen on its own. I used to think that way. I used to think like, oh, let me just, you know, post two times a day. Let me just like rest today. Let me just post tomorrow. And then, like, you know, let me just, you know, grow my page later. You know how ridiculous that sounds? And that was just recently. I'm talking about like not even a month ago. I was like, oh, let me just take this as a rest day. Let me just think of content ideas. Let me just think like, let me post 3 tomorrow. Let me just, you know, sit down and think about, you know, ideas. I was just like lackadaisical, just doing nothing. I was just like half-assing it. But you know, what's the perspective that changed it? Was that I'm living with my parents right now. If I was to move out right now, what would be my main priorities to keep my business up? If I had a business to run and I was moved out already, let's say I was already moved out, what would be my day-to-day priorities? You know, like my daily tasks. And that was like, okay, let me get my marketing. I have to get my physique right so I can show people that, you know, what I do is working. And then I got to post the content. I got to record content. Then I got to, you know, go hit the gym. And then I got to come back home. Got to edit the video. Got to hit my meals. Got to hang out with my girlfriend and everything. Like, what would be my daily routine if I was to already move out? That would be it. Right? But I'm not thinking that way. I wasn't thinking that way. I was still thinking like, oh, my parents are just going to pay for me. It's fine. You know, let me just, you know, kind of post here and there a little bit. If it works out, works out. That's not going to give me results. That won't give me anything. So I got to already think about like that. I'm already in the situation of moving out. You know, what would I already do? How would I pay my rent? You know, of course I'm working too, but if I wasn't working and if I had to post content and make money online, how would I pay my rent and what would be my daily task? And I had to pay the bill in 30 days. I'm trying to think in that mindset, right? So this has almost nothing to do with fitness. It's just more of like a raw talk of what I'm going through, like personally. So that's just been what's helping me, you know, to get out of this inconsistent rut of just being so lazy and just half-assing everything. That's the perspective that's helped me, you know. Get out of my feelings, drop the ego, write down what would make it impossible to not get to your goals, and then start making a plan of daily action as if you were already hitting your goal. Let's say your goal was to move out, like myself. What would I be doing if I was already moved out? Like, I had to become that person, right? So write it down, and it's gonna pinch you a little bit. You're gonna be a little bit scared, like all the responsibility you have to do now, all the responsibility and accountability you have to take for yourself. If I don't do this, I'm not getting closer to my goals. If I don't do what I just wrote down right now, I'm not getting closer to my goals. And it's going to be scary because we think it's going to be as easy as we thought. Newsflash, it is not. Okay? If it was easy, everyone would do it. So that's why it's a blessing to be able to take a challenge for yourself and to prove to yourself that you can earn this. Whatever goal you have. Whatever goal. Right? So drop the ego, write it down. You know, to hold yourself to this new standard and take action. No matter how you feel. No matter how you feel after work. If you don't post, you're not gonna grow. If you don't hit the gym, you're not gonna grow or you're not gonna lose fat. If you don't do your cardio, you're not gonna lose fat. If you don't do this, if you don't hit this meal or eat this meal, you're not gonna get the physique that you want. If you eat this junk food, you're gonna get farther away from your goals, right? Keep yourself accountable. Right? Hope that you found this helpful. This is like an underground video that no one, like, if you found this video, bro, like, salutes to you, bro. You found such a valuable channel, video-ish, whatever you want to call it, because I believe that I will be in a great place later on. I believe so. I truly believe I will be fine. And I will look back at these videos, just think like maybe how stupid I was. Maybe, in the future I'll look back and be like, oh, what the fuck was this guy talking about? Who knows? Who knows what the future holds? But I know that I can control my inputs right now. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.